don't know that I could get you guys to hear her, but she's purring. This is Bitsy. And good morning, people. Bitsy just seems to want to be in my face this moment. Yeah, she's a lover. Her purr is not loud, but she is purring. Okay, you need to go sit down somewhere. Gonna make me all itchy. Okay, what I gotta do is set you back up. There. Today is the 1st of July, 2025. Isn't it amazing? I know, I keep saying it, but isn't it amazing how time flies? We were just at Christmas, right? And now it's Christmas in July. That's what they do. What are you doing? If her's laying down halfway on her back with her paws like this, looking up at me like, are you gonna play with me or what? Yes, you're a cutie pie, and you're gonna fall off if you're not careful. She's just laying on my desk with part of her head, most of her head hanging off. Anyway, people, so what are we gonna do with this channel? I just did a bad thing. I don't know that it was bad, but I keep running out of storage. And part of it is what I put on YouTube. And so I need to take some classes, I guess. Because I don't like to let go of anything. But I decided, you know, if there's some videos out there that are taking up a lot of space and no one's paying them any mind, then I'll just get rid of them. But see, I already got rid of them somewhere else, so it's the only copy, the ones that are on YouTube. But I already did. I decided, okay, anything under, well, in the teens, and then depending on what it is, but things that are not getting any comment, it's not comment, it is a matter of views. If they're not viewing them, there's no sense in them being there, right? And they're taking up my space. I don't know how all that works, but I do know that I deleted several videos earlier today because for my purposes, they're not, I should have not done that because, you know, even though you guys don't want to hear scriptures, there might come a time when you do, but I already got rid of a few, and I feel bad about that. But then again, like I got rid of Alma 56, and I shouldn't have done that. So I ought to write that down so I'll read it again. I told you guys about, what are you doing, child? Who are they? The Stripling Warriors. I told you about those guys. Okay, well that's an Alma 56. So write that down. It's not all that important. It's just a story of, and you probably need to read more than just Alma 56. Like, why? Why was there a need for those stripling warriors in the first place? Because their fathers used to murder, used to go out and do all kinds of things, probably. I only know about the killing, and I don't know why the killing, if it was in war or if it was just a way of life, because they did that. Kind of like the Wild Wild West and who's got the fastest draw on the gun. Kind of strange, huh? Think about it. So for this would be knives. It's not funny because it's real. It's just, thank God we're not really in that. I mean, there are places like living on the street, and there are places like in a bad part of town, or where you can go find your drugs that the law won't let you have. See, that's another thing. There's a ripple effect of everything that you guys are fighting against. It's creating a hell out there. You think about it. Well, do you think it doesn't really matter? I got my alcohol. Alcohol is so bad. And my family is infected. Because it's a disease. Maybe it's a disease of the mind. And it's a disease of what's allowed. Because everybody has, if they wanted to have a mind-altering substance, they go to the one that's legal, and they drink. And drinking is not cool. It really isn't. You stay straight and watch everybody else around you. And then listen to the stories and the woes of the brokenhearted. Because they went out and did things they should not ought to have done. And they lost their family over it. It's all dressed in a nice little package. We'll go out and have a couple drinks. I gotta shut up. It's just that, I mean, I don't like drinking, period. And I do it every once in a while, social. And for the longest time, I was not. I only drank when I was, well, we'll say in between 30 and 40, I was going to the bar. And maybe even before that. It's when you go to a social gathering, right? But if you have too much to drink, you're in trouble. You've lost your mind. Literally. Everybody wants to escape, right? But what do you escape into? I just got pictures in my head, okay? And there's things going on out there. We all set out trying to have a good time. But see, when you're under the influence of your alcohol, you don't know what you look like. You don't know what you sound like. You don't know how bad you're looking, actually. You start out the night thinking you're going to go out, and so you're primping and making yourself beautiful and checking yourself out and got a new outfit or whatever. You start out the night looking sharp. But sweetheart, I'm talking to you women, but probably the men too. But by the time the evening has been spent, so have you. I'm just saying, I've been there. I've been a straight one looking in there. But I've also been the one who blacked out and other people were looking at me. But I did find out that a lot of times I'm just sitting there docile. You know, like in between almost asleep and not asleep. I did hear that I played pool awfully well. But see, it wasn't just alcohol because I like pot. Pot is my, what you guys would call a vice. Trying to think of just the right words. It was almost in my head. You know, your choice, when you go to the bar, it's your choice of poison. Think about that. And people, I know a person whose cousin, I took him to the funeral. His cousin fell off a bar stool. Dead. And when you get into her story, she was going through a divorce, and it was a custody battle, and she went to drinking and drinking and drinking. Well, guess what, people? Alcohol is poison, and if you have too much, you can die from it. She did. That is why she died, alcohol poisoning. It's not cool, people. You need to reverse the situation. It is much better that they smoke a little weed than they drink. And then they go out and they drive, and they either kill themselves or somebody else. Not everybody does, but guess what? A lot of good people have done that. I knew a guy in Perryton who ran over his girlfriend and killed her. Probably an accident. They were oblivious because those people were not just doing, they were doing alcohol and pot and cocaine and probably whatever other drug they could get their hands on. It's not a good idea to mix all that stuff. And it is really not a good idea to drink. If you can make sure you only have a couple, and you're feeling tipsy and you're feeling okay, but to continue to drink, 3 and then 4 and then 5 and then 6, what do you think? You really should sit straight, no nothings, and watch the people around you in that setting, okay? Okay, you gotta get down. You have to get out of my face, or I have to put you down. Here, I'm gonna grab her, and there you're gonna go, okay? You wanna go out that door? I can let you out that door. Here, why don't I let you out? Oh, unless you wanna get in that chair. You wanna go? You wanna go? Betsy. You wanna go? I know, I do weird things. Get that I'm on here, or I think I'm just talking to I don't know who I think I'm talking to, but there is this cat. Trying to put her tail in my coffee. Oh. Okay, people. So, that is the query. And I had heard some good ideas before. Going across the country, working on that house. Really, I've got it in my head where it wouldn't be that hard. I just need a person to help me. And then I need my truck so that I can haul materials. But really what I need is, I don't need, okay, I want. If I had a truck that I wanted to use, that I had to travel in, I would want good gas mileage. So that means I want a little truck. She's going to get in my coffee. For some reason, she wants to be right in front of me. Because she's smart. Right, kitty? You know what's what. You know where the good stuff is. It's the grandma. No, the animals have always liked me. If you go down into my post, once upon a time it was called community, so I don't know what it's called on you guys's, because you guys are visitors or subscribers, but I'm the owner. So I have a feeling that our template might be different. I'm not sure. I hope that you guys, if you wanted to, I hope that you're able. There's a little thing on there that says sort, S-O-R-T. And it's got probably an arrow up and down, I'm not sure. But anyway, you touch on sort. And for me, it's only given me 2 choices. Whereas in the past, it's given me a 3rd choice or a different choice for that 2nd choice. I know, that's probably not making sense. The point is, I switched gears like I do. There is a place on there where you can touch and you will sort by, maybe you can go to the oldest video. That would be good. Because if you can go to the oldest video, and if you're a subscriber, or maybe even if you're not, I think if you just get on my channel, I don't know. But like, I can get on my channel on the TV, on YouTube, put Lose Touch, and get myself there. And if I stay there and don't move, it's going to play videos over and over. Not the same one, but it'll just pull a bunch from my... I have 1,000 videos. And some of my best stuff was in the very beginning. So it just would be really nice if you guys could go there. And you'll tell by the way things are titled that they're papers that I wrote, and then I read them, and then I explained them. And I like them. So, I mean, it's not like they're drudgery. I think they're pretty cool. I don't know what I'm going to do, because it was an experiment. And if the fact is that people are not going to go back to the beginning, then I could go and take my papers that I wrote and I could read them again. In other words, I could read them on here, and maybe I would do a better job. Because before, it was the first time I had seen, not seen, but the first time I had read my papers in a very long time. And so, anything you are not practiced at, you stumble over. Or with me, I know what I was saying, and sometimes I just get past myself. In other words, instead of reading, I'm reciting out of my head, and then I have my words not quite right. So, nevertheless, I am going to explore that. And I'm excited, people, to have new subscribers. I hope you stick around. I hope you explore the things that I've written. In other words, there's only 20. There's 20 different things, what I call papers, because I wrote them, okay? But they're analogies, they're theology, they're beliefs, and they were inspired. If you got a pen and paper, write this down. This is a paper you need to look at. Beauty of the Rose. And then you always put on, lose, touch. And so it's a good idea to already be at YouTube, but then put lose touch up there. But if you, even without getting on my channel though, if you do what I said, write that in the search bar, Beauty of the Rose, on, lose, touch, L-O-U-L-O-U''S, touch. And it's 2 words, okay? I really do love my stuff. And then maybe I should go back and take it and rewrite it, make it a little better. But see, these things that I wrote came right out of my head, down onto the paper. So when I say out of my head, it's usually my mouth, but then this was back when I was using my hand. In other words, my brain was talking to me, and I was writing as fast as I could go. So you need a ballpoint pen. You need something that'll glide across the paper. But I ain't kidding. There's that word, ain't. I'm not kidding. I sat down to write. I just was doing an experiment. Let me push you back where you belong. I was doing an experiment. My mother had given me a journal. Okay, so it's the size of notebook paper. So it's not a little thing. I was living up on a mountain by myself with my daughter, so that's not by myself, but really, me and a 5-year-old on 500 acres of Washougal Canyon. And she was in kindergarten. So when she was at school, I was there by myself. And the church has told us, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints has told us to keep a journal for a few reasons. It's for, you have the memory fresh in your mind, and the excitement or the sadness or the whatever, so the words will come out. You're trying to, if anybody ever takes the time to read your stuff, then you're trying to explain. But still, it's memories, fresh memories. I've got some memories written out there. I'm not sure where they are. But nevertheless, what I started to say was I sat down to write, not knowing what I was going to say at all. Just sat down with a pen and paper. And it was not just paper, it was my journal. So it was in a book. But 22 pages. I'm telling you, I was going as fast as I could across the paper. And even then, I was only skimming over the top of my thoughts. And here I am 22 pages later. These are big pages. I had to stop. I made myself stop because I had to go pick up my daughter, I think. I had to go do something. But man, at least I was moving fast. I don't know how long it took me to do 22 pages. And I had written, let's see, I wrote after that, and that's when, okay, I understand. See, I had this little brown book, about a 5x7, and it was in Italian. And it was like a journal. But you wouldn't know what was inside unless you knew how to read that. But nevertheless, I wrote some pretty hot stuff in there. I'd like to get a hold of it, but I don't have a clue where it's at. And the journal I was talking about that I was writing in when my daughter was 5, it was white. It was white and it was large. It was a large journal. And I had this cat laying on my arm. I'm going to have to get my arm out. I can't have it there, okay? There you go. Then I better move my coffee back over here. See, I'm going to try something different. I've had my iPad on this side of my desk, Well, it's not got very good service. So I put it on the other side of my desk, and it's got all the bars. So hopefully I won't have any trouble. I was having, buffering problems there, so now I know, don't use that side of the table. I'm really disappointed. I'm having a hard time with drinking my coffee the way I like it, but then my head feels weird after. And actually, I need to read that. Okay, so I bought this creamer. It's the kind my daughter gets. No sugar. Well, when it's no sugar, there's something in it. And I got a feeling I don't do well with that. Artificial sweeteners and stuff. And just, someone else put it in my head. My sister Teresa put it in my head a long time ago that aspartame is really bad. Well, hey, it tastes delicious. And it's in a lot of stuff. All I know is in my memory, see, it's been a long time since I did any of that reading, but it stuck with me enough to know not to do it, not to buy it on purpose, but I got a feeling that creamer's got it in it. So you just look for the sweeteners, and if you see aspartame, maybe you want your mind to go bad, because I think it has to do with that. Like, you'll be fine, okay, and everything, but about 10 years from now, your mind will go crazy. We'll have to look it up. That was a memory. It could be false. And I don't want to look it up and read it, so I'm not gonna do it. Act like a little kid. How about that? No. So I used to do videos when I was walking. So maybe the weather is getting where I can do that again. And we'll see. I never knew what was going to come out of my head anyway. But then, if I sit down to read the scriptures, I know that puts a lot of people off. That poor old dusty Bible. If you even have one. I've seen it. Even at my dad's house, but he had so many different sets of scriptures. So the big Bible that sat underneath the table was two-tiered, okay, so it sat on the bottom, covered in dust. And that man read the scriptures, just not out of that book. So anyway, there's some gospel songs about the old dusty Bible. I might be putting my own words in there, but I just don't know what's in there. Some of you do. To my friend, to all of you, because you kind of are, that's how I'm treating you. Just like you would be my friend. So the things I tell you are for your good. Of course, a mother would tell you that too, right? And also would God. Reprove. Do you know that word? I think he uses it in the scriptures. I might be using that word wrong, I wonder. Reprove. Because it is a weird word, isn't it? But basically he's saying, and it might be a different word altogether, but he's saying, because I love you, I reprove you. Now, what would reprove mean? Because then there's prove, and then there's reprove. So in the regular suffixes and prefixes, re means to do it all over again, reprove. How strange. Got my iPad over here. Let's see. I always use that expression, let's see. And I can't see right now because I don't have my glasses on, but I can see enough. R-E-P-R-O-V-E. Reprove. Reprove definition. I'm going to have to get my glasses on. Reprimand. I said it right then. He was reproved for obscenity. So someone used obscenity and someone told him not to be doing that. Okay, let me see if there's something else. It says, what does reprove in the Bible mean? But the biblical use of the word translated here as reprove is more complex. It can mean to dispute, judge, chasten, argue, correct, or prove. What is the synonym of reprove? Admonish. C-H-I-D-E, I don't know that. Rebuke, reprimand, and reproach. While all these words mean to criticize adversely, reprove implies an often kindly intent to correct a fault. Well, that's interesting, isn't it? So God is going to kindly give you correction, because that's really what it's all about. Training, just like us as parents try to train our kids. In my case, grandkids, and almost pretty soon great-grandkids. But what was the word? The word was because we're training them, and we're all going to make mistakes, and we have to let them know that it's a mistake, but you do it kind. Okay, like I told you guys the other day, be quick. When you see something wrong with your children, what's going on and stuff, be quick to let them know that that's not acceptable, and tell them why, and let them know you love them, that you're not real totally upset with them, but you gotta let them know. And you can't wait until they've done it, and then all of a sudden you blow up. Not a good idea. And to a particular friend, when I correct you, I'm not trying to be mean. But see, there's a way. There's ways to do it. And people can really be mean. And what does that do? Does that teach you anything? It teaches you to hate that person. It's like, okay, you be mean to me, I'm gonna be mean to you. That's how it goes. Like my dad would say, first your money and then your clothes. Because he's talking about debts, paying your debts. I got a kitty that's just she's smart. She's here loving on me. Unlike some others. But it's okay. I do understand. And I always, at a certain time in life, when my daughter was young and I had my parents, I was living with them, and I knew that my daughter was in good hands, or I thought she was. And when it was bedtime at night, I would put her to bed, and I believe I might wait until she was asleep, I'm not sure. But then I went out. But then years later, I'm finding out, that she would wake up and I wasn't there. And Mother said she cried at the stairs. I didn't know I was doing that to her. Such a little thing. Anyway. Broken hearts make us do things. And sometimes I guess we seek. But I wasn't really seeking the opposite sex. I think I was more seeking the music, the socialization, but definitely dancing. I love dancing to good music. There was a bar like less than 2 miles away from the house. I just had live bands all the time. It was really good. So I didn't realize at that time that I was causing heartbreak for my daughter. I don't know if she can remember that, but I remember my mother telling me that. Anyway, people, you men out messing around on your women, and you got babies at home, and you've got a woman at home who loves you, what are you doing? I'm just saying, if you fit into that category, what are you doing? And guess what? You're going to lose it. You're going to lose your family. And you're going to lose your love life. And when I say love life, I'm talking about every day, a woman who loves you, who kisses you, who cleans your house and prepares your meals. I mean, maybe you do that too. I hope you do that, sweet. But in so many cases, and in mine, I did. I went to work all day long, and I came home and did everything that a good little wife would do for no love. What a fool. Yeah, we're all fools. Maybe not everybody, but, I can talk about mine, me and mine. So, I will try not to be bitter. I don't care about that first guy anymore, but I did for a long time. For a very long time, he messed me up, which in turn just saying, mine and Jessica's life could have been a lot happier. And when you're not a happy person, you can't really give happiness. So we got to work on that. That was so long ago. My daughter is 48. And she came along at the end of a 6-year marriage, and then 2 years dating him before I married him. So a whole bunch of time wasted. Let's hope that I did have my daughter. But had I been with a different person, where we had love, I'm sure her same spirit would have came to me. I don't know what body she'd be in, what it would look like. I know, they always say you can't change your past, because then there you are, you eliminate your children. I just really would have wished for her and for me a happier life. So, she's doing pretty good. I think. I'm talking about mentally, because that's where it's at, people. We need to be mentally happy. So, we just have to figure it out. Those of you who have your marriages going on and your families and stuff, I'm so happy for you. So happy for you. I do think it's worth fighting for your marriage. If you have a marriage and it was out of love, then, you know, I think maybe you might be able to build that back. Maybe. Because it does depend on what has happened, what has transpired. I couldn't go back. We tried, but we didn't try that hard. But you just can't. The trust is gone. And it also diminishes how you feel about yourself. And how you react and interact with that person. Are you going to be able to be free and honest and know that he loves you and you love him? No, you're not. You're just not. That marriage should have not ever happened, because he wasn't in love with me and he felt pressured to marry me. We were young, and so yeah, he lived across the street. We went out together for a very long time. First year we didn't do anything. You know, you gotta realize that when I started dating him, I think I was 15, because when I married him I was 17 and I had already dated him for 2 years. And it wasn't dating, because we didn't date. In other words, you're not supposed to date before 16 with just the two of you. You need chaperones. And even at 16, I would think you need chaperones, because you want to not be bringing babies into the world. Me and that guy tried. I don't know if he, I don't know, but I was trying anyway. I wanted to get married. I was so much in love. I thought, you know, but that's a little kid for you. And what does bringing a baby into the world do? It straps you down. You want to be in love. And you want to be in love with that baby, because it's a product of the two of you. Yes, I know. Babies are so sweet and kind. Don't get carried away with what I'm saying. I'm just saying there is a special bond when the two of you love each other and you have produced something, a person that is part of both of you. How cool is that? But you need to stick around, help take care of it, love its mama. So I'm just saying, Having a baby's not always the best thing to be doing, because when the one leaves, there you are, you have to take care of it. And just because they don't think they need to worry about it, and they slough off their child support payment, they slough it off again, cause the mother trouble. And let me tell you something, his child support payment was only $100, and he couldn't do that. He would wait and wait and wait, and then he would have to pay it because someone got after him. So what does that do to the person who depends on that money every month to try to make it? But in your head, all you think is, oh, she's going to take that money and go party. She's not going to do nothing for the baby, so you keep it. Isn't that what you were thinking? It's not your place. Your place is to take care, to do what you're supposed to do, to help out in the nurturing of that child. The thing is, by the time we figure all that out, it's too late. You're lucky. You're lucky you still have her in your life. All right, so that's enough of that. All men are slugs. It's better than some things I could call them. And they're not all like that, people. I'm sorry. Just I have encountered several that are. Much to do about nothing. You know? All they care about is having fun. They don't care. My second husband, oh my God. I got stories I could tell about him. Us. So I don't know why I use the word slug. It just came to mind. They're slimy. No, I really didn't use the right word, okay? I don't know a right word because I don't normally say bad things. Slug was a good one, but I don't know why. What do? They leave slime wherever they go. And if you cover them with salt, you probably have killed them, dehydrated them. I don't know. Nevertheless, I've enjoyed our interludes. Is that what they said in that movie? Ever After? Intrigue. Or intrigues. It does intrigue you, right? To go and have a visit with someone that excites you, and maybe they've got some knowledge to impart, and it's invigorating, and it's not nagging, as some people would call it. Why would I nag? Would I have a reason to nag? Yeah, I got my reasons. So it's okay. I'm just not going to worry about it anymore. So we learned what reprove means. And it is to give correction, but kindly. And it's talking about God giving the correction. Okay. But that's to the children that are, I was going to say the children of the light. We all have the light. And I made a statement before that I might have been wrong. Because I said, we are all born with the light of Christ in us. But maybe that's after he was born. Because see, they had the 10 Commandments because those first people, that 4,000 years, they just couldn't get it right. They had to have some instruction, and that's what the 10 Commandments were. Don't do this. Don't do this. Don't do this. In other words, don't kill. No murder. Don't steal. Don't be robbing people. Honor thy father and thy mother. But it does say after that thy days may be long upon the earth. I think it says that. So I'm not sure if that's a commandment, is it? I think it is. Honor thy father and thy mother. See, here's the deal. Your father and your mother have to be worth honoring. My mother and father were worth honoring. I'm not saying my parents were not. But I know there's so many people out there that just don't have the love that they need. And they feel rejection. And they feel hurt. And in one of my papers I wrote it, without hope, there is despair. And despair could be part of that root word for desperate. Whereas people do weird things when they're desperate. But what are they feeling? They're feeling despair because there's no hope. Just giving you some definitions. And yes, I'm all slumped over. I need to get back up on my haunches here. Oh. To be or not to be, that is the question. Isn't that part of a Shakespeare thing? Whether it is nobler to something or other. I don't know the words. Oh. So I think I'm just in love with love. And when love changes and it's not love anymore, then what do you have? You don't have love anymore. I'm playing with a chopstick and a pen. I'm distracted like I always am. I get distracted easily. So easily. I want to go dancing. I don't know if my legs are strong enough anymore. I used to go, and when I was going to the bar, my purpose was, okay, I'm gonna get a buzz, but without spending a lot of money. So then therefore I have a certain thing planned that I'm drinking. Back then, I might have had a bottle of wine in the car. And I'm sure if I had pot, it was in the car. And so I would wait until the band went on a break, and then I would go out to my car. Ideas. I met a crazy person sitting out in my car, drinking some wine, probably smoking some dope. I don't even want to bring her name out into the open. Some people, it's better that you never have met. And you don't need to meet them again. And yes, I've always tried to help people up. But I also was one of those people that probably needed help too. Because she was bad. And a lunatic. So your children go out there, meaning me, I'm somebody's child, go out there and you do crazy things and you meet weird, crazy people. I was going to say a different word. Try to not use bad words. Anyway, I will just have to figure it out. So I'm almost at an hour. And really what I need to do is just do a bunch of shorts instead of these hour-long videos, because if that's what's taking up all my space online, I'm just going to have to quit doing that. No, I need to take a class so I know what I'm doing better. And in the meantime and in between time, people don't forget to eat. I know I say that a lot about food, but that's because I forget to eat. And my body is saying, hey, we want something in here? And that's what's going on right now. It's probably why the coffee is bothering me too, is because I don't have anything else in my system, just that. Just a little tidbit. And I'm not sure. It must have been my last PET scan. You have to have your blood sugar down below a certain point. And they were telling, we did something different. We did it to where I had the test in the afternoon and I could eat in the morning. I just had to not eat for a certain length of time before. I mean, that was great because I was able to get up and take my pills and have a little something to eat. And they suggested eggs, okay? I don't remember now if I had taken my blood sugar. I think I must have taken my blood sugar and it was awfully close to being over. And I was afraid. I was afraid to eat because I didn't know what was going to happen. But they had suggested eggs, and I know I was going to have to wait a long time to eat, so I had a couple of eggs. I think my blood sugar was like at 187 or something like that, maybe more. But it went down to 147. And that lady said that the protein in the eggs probably drew the sugar out of my veins. So that's something to know, okay? Little kitty, why are you just giving me trouble? I need to go find something to eat. So I guess I will say, sayonara. You guys take care. I love you. I'm not a great scriptorian, as other people have said of me in the past. I mean, at church. But maybe it's just because I know some stuff. And for some reason, I always had something to say, and I knew what they were talking about. So I paid attention in seminary. I paid attention all those years that I was learning. Because going to church, in the Mormon church, you go to class, you learn, you study, you have the opportunity. That is, if you'll take the opportunity. So, I bid you adieu. I'm going to try to make it to the 33. And really, I should make it to an hour and 33, but I'm not going to. So you guys take care. I love you, like I've said before. And I'm going to say goodbye. I'm dadgummit. Something gets right in my way, and I don't know how many seconds. I can't do it. This is Gucci. Anyway, people. I guess I'll put my glasses on. And I can see what you guys see, huh? My wrinkles. so far away. Hey, hey, you're so far away. Hey, you are. You're so very far away. And I really don't think that you're ever going to get close. Oh, I gotta go. Bye, y'all.